I pictured myself at Solitary Garden. I sat on the bench, and I overlooked the garden in solitude. I meditated. I walked around the structure, taking in the panoramic splendor of all the flowers and plants. And then I did what I've been dreaming of for so long. I squatted down and felt the earth. I picked up the soil and let it slip through my hands. It has been 21 years. Tim Young. Solitary Garden at UC Santa Cruz is a living artwork that calls to imagine justice in a different light. Located up by the Digital Arts Research Center in the heart of the UC Santa Cruz campus overlooking Monterey Bay, curated by Timothy Young, an activist and poet, an innocent man wrongfully incarcerated, sentenced to death. Solitary Garden is an abolitionist project created by Jackie Sumel, turning solitary confinement cells that are the same size as the 6x9 cell Herman Wallace of the Angola 3 and so many others spend decades in, into garden beds. The plants, flowers, and herbs of the prison cell turned garden bed are chosen by individuals serving their sentence in isolation. Rosemary, borage, stinging nettle, roses, tulips, bush daisies, royal bumbles, and anise sage, all plants selected by Tim Young, for reasons that are both personal and general, but all rooted in abolition. Tim serves his sentence in a cell similar to the space the garden occupies. However, instead of the cold walls Tim Young sees, we see the product of Tim's imagination, a world that has blossomed outside the confines of his cell. The Solitary Gardens is a social sculpture and collaborative project that cultivates conversations around alternatives to incarceration by catalyzing compassion. Once you set foot in the garden, notice how small a 6x9 space truly is, as the effects of solitary confinement are devastating and often irreparable. But also notice how the garden transforms the space into something alive and liberating. The garden changes the meaning of confinement. For Tim Young, who was framed for a crime he did not commit, it turns his cell, a place of punishment, into a place of growth. The garden shows Tim's fight, his fight for the wrongfully condemned, his fight for freedom, fairness, and justice. Tim Young has written extensively during his years of incarceration. In one of his letters, he writes, wrongfully convicted, socially distanced, condemned, San Quentin State Prison, names are nullified, numbers are given, erasing all traces of human existence. Most wither, I transcend prison. I am more than F2 3374. I am resistance. Tim Young reminds us that incarceration dehumanizes, reducing a person to a number. His poems artistically remind us that they are not numbers, that they are fighting every day to let the world know they are humans, that being incarcerated cannot dehumanize them. Through the garden, Tim Young can claim his identity and fight for abolition, resisting the number forced onto him.